So to follow along with what we were speaking about the other day, I talked about oatmeal and just the common misconceptions of foods that people generally think of as healthy that really aren't healthy for us. So another food along those lines is peanut butter. So peanut butter is very high in omega-6, which is inflammatory, and it's low on omega-3s. So it's a very imbalanced ratio. We're not getting a huge return on investment as far as nutrients. So I talked about that. You want to make sure that there's a high return on investment. And they often contain mold or mycotoxins because they're grown in the ground. It's very moist. So it's very common to have that in high amounts. So then a lot of people convert from peanut butter and they'll go to other nut butters, not that peanuts are a nut because they're actually legumes, they're not nuts, but, and then they'll go to like a almond butter or cashew butter is another common one. So the problem with these nut butters is that, nuts, just like we talked about with the oatmeal, they have these natural chemicals, nuts, seeds, grains, beans, these enzyme inhibitors and toxins. And these are the things that protect them while they're growing. They protect them from sprouting prematurely. They protect them from predators. So, these phytates, the phytic acid, the polyphenols, these are things that, are helpful for the plant, but not to be consumed for us because, that the phytic acid, it combines with important minerals that we have in our system when we eat it. So things like calcium, magnesium, calcium we use for our immune system. There's a zillion uses for magnesium that our body uses, copper, iron, and especially zinc in the intestinal tract. So, and it blocks their absorption. And that really, really messes with our body's digestive ability to break that nut down properly and to be able to utilize it as a nutrient. So again, return on investment, there's a high cost factor there. Again, not a lot of return. So I wouldn't categorize it as a health food. But if you want to soak them, there's different times for, soaking times for different types of nuts. Some studies say that they have to be soaked as long as 18 hours in order to fully get all that off. You soak it and with some salt water, Himalayan salt, a lot of people like to do, rinse that off, discard the water, and then you would dehydrate them. You can dehydrate them in the oven. That's going to take a lot longer. Or if you have a dehydrator. And not only does it unlock the flavor, they taste so much better when they're done that way. But you'll never want to go back to eating them any other way again once you have that. But now you don't have those anti-nutrients. Okay. So now your body can actually utilize it. Now it's not going to deplete your mineral stores, things like that. So you can buy it already broken down. There's a company that I have found, Joshua's Garden. There's a website, wisechoicemarket.com, and they have all the nut butters that they make there from Joshua's Garden, and they are all soaked, dehydrated, and then they make the nut butters. They have sample jars, and I'll put the link in the comments so that you can take a look at it and see and maybe try some of them. But if you want to attempt doing it yourself, that's, great too. Like I said, the different soaking times, you can find the charts and all that online for how long to soak which type of nut. But like I said, there are studies that say you have to soak as long as 18 hours to really get all that off. So, and then you would dehydrate it, and then some people will roast them, and then you can make, a nut butter from them for a healthier source. So for me, it's just an elimination, unless I can come across, if I place an order with this company, and I'll have it, once in a while as kind of like a splurge sort of thing, maybe on some sourdough bread or what have you. So, that's totally an option. But it's definitely not something that you want to be consuming every day, especially not peanut butter. I don't care if it's organic, doesn't matter. All the things I talked about are still the same. The omega-6s, the inflammation, all that kind of stuff, the mycotoxins, the mold, I refer to it just, humorously as rancid legumes. So, because once you grind it, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so that's another myth that peanut butter is a healthy food. So stay away from it. Do go through the process yourself, or maybe order some of this Joshua's Garden nut butter sampler and see which one of those you like, and you can have that as a nice treat. So just another, what did we think was healthy that maybe isn't healthy episode.